Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of the PokerGO podcast. My name is Donnie Peters. That is Cowboy Tim Duckworth. What's going on, sir?
Not much. Another late night here at the horse show.
You have no energy today. You had all the energy last night. I had none.
I'm neutral.
I feel pretty good today. It's probably because I took a 3-hour nap after doing commentary over at the Venetian, but I needed it, and I'm likely going to need it today as well. I'm going to have to do the same thing. I'm already feeling it. It's that stretch. You know what it is? They turned the AC up in this joint.
Mm-hmm.
My Lord. I mean, it is whatever the Amazon room was, it's 5 degrees colder.
It's the Antarctic Amazon
For
room,
sure. On today's show, we got Robert Wells winning his first WSOP gold bracelet. He won the 3K mini PPC. Darren Elias won his first bracelet.
Yeah.
We're going to do some updates on the big guns, Negreanu, Hellmuth, Ivey, Deeb. We'll hit on how their summers are going. The 1K Battle of the Ages, a brand new tournament for the 2025 WSOP. That's playing down right now to the final table. They got to lose one more. So we're either going to update you with where it stands or we're going to tell you who's at the final table, whatever happens. James Carroll leads the way in the Millionaire Maker. There are 44 players left. Massive. Shout out Massive.
Oh, massive.
You wrote it. You wrote that one. A massive $500 no limit hold'em freezeout takes place or kicked off today, I should say. The 5K no limit hold'em, is that the no limit hold'em 6 max?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. 5K no limit hold'em 6 max that blew through last year's number with registration still open. We got the Deuce 7 triple draw underway. And today, we got the 50K PPC. So I'll touch on that, or we'll touch on that, and we'll do a little bit of preview because that's one of the biggest, of course, most prestigious events of the summer. For those listening to the PokerGO podcast, really appreciate you guys. We'd love if you could favorite the show, leave a review, do whatever you got to do. Those are the best ways to help us grow. It helps us reach more poker-loving people just like yourself. And if you do happen to leave a review, we always love if you can take a screenshot, send it on into podcast@pokergo.com. We'd love to be able to read some of those. So, make them fun, make them funny. Come at us if you want, whatever. Just leave a review because that does help. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe to the PokerGO channel, and drop a comment. Tim and I definitely get into the comments every couple of days. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from, who you're railing during the summer, or heck, if you disagree with something that Tim and I say, come at us. We don't care.
You'll be wrong, but you come at us.
We read the comments, even the nonsense out there, and we'll often get in there and reply. So I know that, I guess specifically speaking to the YouTube crowd, because we did recently launch the podcast as a video format ahead of this summer. It was a goal of ours. We made it happen. Shout out to producer Rich for being the guy to really help us get over the hump in that regard. But just addressing, a lot of the new viewership and listenership that we have because of this. If you're new here, welcome. Certainly appreciate having you guys. I feel like I see a lot in the YouTube comments kind of questioning like who you and I are, what the heck this show is, what we're doing, all that sort of stuff. So this is the PokerGO podcast. Welcome. For the first timers out there. We've been covering the world of poker for many, many, many years. Biggest tournaments in the game, stories behind the scenes. You call it. Tim and I have covered it, seen it, all that sort of stuff. My name is Donnie Peters, as we said at the top of the show. His name is Tim Duckworth. He's the resident cowboy. Yes, he is going through a midlife crisis.
Rebirth.
That's why midlife rebirth. That's why you see all the multiple crazy outfits every single day. You can follow us on social media. Twitter's best. Donnie_Peters here. Tim __ Duckworth. Yes, he has 2 underscores.
I'm more of an IG guy.
His name. He is more of an IG guy, and you can see the various fashion shoots that he does throughout the World Series if you follow him on IG. We are part of the PokerGO team. As I said, we've been doing this for a long time. I got my start in the industry in 2008. I was working for Poker News out of college. I worked my way up to editor-in-chief there. I jumped on over to lead marketing at the World Poker Tour. From there, I hopped on over to what is the now defunct pocket5s.com. RIP. Love you. Mean it. Wish it would come back. while also dabbling in the sports betting industry, working there for some time. And then in 2021, I joined PokerGo. Tim over here, he began in 2007. We should do the Rich Ryan thing and insert the clip of you getting mad when you bubbled the WSOP main event.
Do we really have to do that?
Out in the field, we do see some players heading for the rail.
Tim was also working for Poker News at first. He's been around the industry ever since, spent time at the World Poker Tour. He's done some freelance. He joined the PokerGo ranks in 2018. He's worked his way up to what is now the Director of Live Events and Content, also known as the PGT Commissioner. Between us, we have 35 years in this space. 98% of that time has been in the poker world. We have pretty much seen it all. We have covered it all. To say that we love it would be an understatement. It is 2:27 a.m. We love it, okay? We are here, end of the day, making this happen, trying to bring you guys content every single day, let you know what's going on the biggest and greatest tournament series in the world. Our goal is simple. We want to give you honest takes. We want to give you a look inside the game that you guys love. We love it just as much. Trust us. So whether you're here for bracelet sweats, whether you want to talk about player stories, results from the tournaments, or just the chaotic world that is poker, we are your guys and you are in the right place. So I know many of you listening or watching may have a good idea of who we are, but did just want to kind of give out the lay of the land for any of the new listeners that we have coming in. So, you're not just kind of jumping in cold, maybe wondering what the heck is this and why should we listen to it? That is why, and that is who we are. If you love poker, but you don't want to spend a dime, head on over to PlayPokerGo.com. It is free to play. It is super easy to jump into. You can get it on iOS and Android, in addition to going on web to PlayPokerGo.com. It feels like real poker. Real players are involved. No bots, no gimmicks. Tim and I get on there plenty. So PlayPokerGo.com for ring games, tournaments, and sit and goes. It is completely free. And then this podcast is also brought to you by True Classic, the home of high-quality, affordable clothes for men. Tops, bottoms, activewear, you name it, they got it over at TrueClassicTees.com. And this year, we have partnered with True Classic Tees to give away 15 $5,000 packages to come play at the PokerGo studio in a signature event at the end of 2025. If you want to win, all you have to do is submit your poker story. Tell us about your poker journey and why you deserve to be invited out to play in this event on the dime of True Classic. TrueClassicTees.com/TCPokerGo. Submit your story, and then you could possibly be one of the 15 lucky winners to earn one of those $5,000 packages. Come out to the most iconic studio in the game, the PokerGo studio, and play for glory. Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty, sir. Robert Wells, 3K mini PPC winner. It's officially called the 3K 9-game mix. Yes, we call it the mini PPC because that's what it should be called. Robert Wells tops a field of 409 entries to win $228,000, his largest career score and his first ever WSOP gold bracelet. His first cash, this WSOP, he cashed in all mixed game formats so far. Not a ton of WSOP cashes to date for Robert Wells. His first was in 2022, but, at least me, you can give your thoughts in a second, Tim, but I felt like this was coming sooner rather than later for Wells.
Definitely.
We see him a lot in the PokerGo studio, specifically when it comes to the mixed game tournaments. He's a very good player. I think he's quickly become known within like the high stakes mixed game community. They have a lot of respect for him. And then when that sort of stuff happens, it just feels like, this guy's got it. He's going to be winning soon, and it's not going to take long. And it didn't take long for Robert Wells. It's 2025, and he's got his first bracelet. What do you got to say?
Who won this last year?
Yuri?
Who was Robert Wells' best friend?
Wow, really? That's why Yuri was on the. I was wondering why Yuri was on. He's talking about Yuri Zavalevsky, a.k.a. Yuri Martins, a.k.a. Yuri Nerd Guy.
They both came to the PGT Mixed Game Series, in February. Traveled together. I think they even stayed together. I think they're very close friends. They, share a lot of strategy together, all that kind of stuff.
Curious how they became friends. Because Yuri's Brazilian. Robert Wells is from Wales.
Study groups, online poker, you never know these days, right? But it's kind of cool. Yuri was on the rail when the final hand was a no limit deuce hand, I believe. Yuri actually was filming filming his friend, which is kind of cool because, if we went back last year, I bet you we would have seen Robert Wells on the rails sweating Yuri. So that's kind of a nice full circle moment for those two friends right there. In what we would say is probably one of the, we know the 50K PPC is the mixed game. We talk about the 10K horse championship from a few days ago. This is probably up there, top 5 mixed game titles you could win here at the World Series. And it's pretty cool to have, two friends win it back-to-back years.
Yeah, this is a great tournament. Robert Wells defeated Thomas Taylor in heads-up play, $150K for Taylor. Fu Wong got 3rd. Anthony Ribeiro got 4th. Nicholas Barth got 5th. David Bach, 6th place there. Jonathan Glendinning, 7th. And Yuki Zhu, a.k.a. Rich Zhu, got 8th place. Another runner-up finish for Thomas Taylor this summer, his 8th cash this summer. He was 2nd in the $1,500 horse.
Oh, that's what it was.
He also had a couple of close calls previously, 2nd in 2024 in the 1K PLO. He had 2 3rds in 2022, $1,500 stud and the 10K stud high-low. So, this was one of those heads-up matches when it got down to Wells and Taylor, which, sounds like a law firm. But just call Wells and Taylor. We'll solve everything. It was like, okay, finally one of these guys is going to get it. Again, a little bit of heartbreak for either one getting this far and then falling short. But, both I think are deserving. Not that anything is necessarily deserving in this game, but these guys are certainly good enough to own some bracelets. And it's good for Robert Wells that he got one. I would say Thomas Taylor's is coming soon, especially if he keeps knocking at the door this summer. We still have a ton of events left to go. This event was number 58 on the schedule of 100 gold bracelet events. So very likely, I would say, that we have not heard the last of Thomas Taylor. So if you see his name in the headlines again, you see him making another final table, do not be surprised. Another first-time gold bracelet winner, we got Mr. Darren Elias.
The inbox.
Now, this one's a little bit interesting.
Oh, here we go.
Because he won it online.
There's no asterisk here, buddy.
No. Listen, I'm not saying that there's. I'm not saying there's an asterisk. Okay. Now, if you ask Bucky, Matthew Waltman,
after he beat me,
maybe there is an asterisk.
He beats me and then says, "I don't even care for this bracelet. I don't want it." And you got my good friend Shaun Deeb out there said, "You should give it to Tim Duckworth. He is more deserving." I agree. And consequently, I don't even know.
Did that really happen?
Yeah, I banned Bucky for 2 years from the PokerGO studio. He's done. He's out. So,
all right. Well, let's get this back to the topic at hand, which is Darren Elias. $170,000 win. He won WSOP.com event number 14, the $888 buy-in No Limit Hold'em Crazy Eights tournament. 1,182 entries. Darren Elias topped them all. He only fired one bullet in this one. And the reason why I say that it's interesting is because it feels like this would be such bigger news if he did it live.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what the tournament is live. It just feels like it would have been much bigger news. The stuff that happens on WSOP.com, it's not covered as much, partly because it's difficult to cover. One thing is obviously there's a barrier to everything with the fact that people are playing on screen names and you don't necessarily know who the real names are until a couple days later when the results do come out.
Yeah.
So there's that. Also, it's just, everything is more focused here.
Yeah.
Now, we all got word of this because Darren tweeted it out that he won it, right?
I saw it on the old IG.
I mean, if he doesn't share it on his social media, do we know? Or do we just have to wait a couple days? So how does that work?
No, I think someone out there would probably stumble upon it and throw out a tweet or an
But that's
Instagram
my
story.
point. You said stumble upon it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like,
I think someone actually commented on the one of the YouTube videos about there's not much stuff about this online events. I'm like, yeah, I think there's a real opening there for a news outlet.
I mean, Tim and I would like to cover them.
To live stream that.
I think also anyone would like to cover them. One of the issues is like after the events are done, they're like gone from the lobby like in like 1 or 2 days. They're just gone.
Yeah.
So they should either leave them up or immediately take the results and put them on a website or share them on social media or whatever it may be, right? And they ultimately do like push these through to Hendon Mob, I believe, right? And then you see all the real names. So if you matchup lobby to real name, you know who won and who didn't. So if that's what you're doing, why can't you just immediately publish it all as real names? There's some sort of gap here, and there needs to be a solution, because I agree with you. There's no asterisks. If WSOP says all bracelets are equal, all bracelets are equal. Okay, so then treat them equal.
You know how you have these conversations like, if I was boss for the day, or if I was a man for a day, those kind of conversations. If I was the Cesar of WSOP, one of the things I would do is say, hey, social team, we're going to stream every bracelet event stream every online bracelet event on our YouTube channel.
For sure.
I'm going to hire a Jeff Platt,
I think we should do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's more a WSOP thing. But then you just pull out 4 tables. There is a Google Doc out there that has players' names and their usernames. You use that to assist you and kind of, break it down. These events, yes, okay, they do take 16 hours to finish, but you don't need to pick it up till after registration closes. So it might be only 6 hours or something. But
you could do what you said, where you do 4 tables. Start with the final 4 tables.
Oh yeah, even that, some of that final 3 tables.
So then the person streaming it or whatever is doing like max 3 hours, right?
And then at least, that comes out, it's out there. People can watch the replay. They can see hands. And if WSOP are really committed to this, why couldn't they go down the road of what PokerStars does with the cards up coverage for their like W Coop and S Coop final tables?
Same with GG Poker, who
GG Poker
now owns WSOP.
I think that would be a better way to do it. You have enough people in your Rolodex that are talented enough to cover these. So I think that's definitely something. If you really want to highlight online bracelet events, you've got to take that step to kind of force it upon people to recognize that, hey, this is as equal as any live event here at the Horseshoe or Paris.
Yeah, Darren's a guy who, and we talked about it a bit when he finished second to Nick Schulman in the 10K No Limit Deuce to 7 earlier this summer. Darren's a guy who he's going to get his. It just hasn't broken his way as it comes to the WSOP. He's won plenty of other stuff elsewhere. The crusher of the WPT, the end boss. We call him the end boss anyway, but as it relates to the WPT, he is the end boss.
Yep.
And it's about time he got a bracelet. It's just kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit because it's not getting the coverage that it deserves. And it's not only Darren Elias. Darren Elias is the jumping off point for a bigger topic, as you've been addressing here. Someone like a Matthew Wantman, Jonathan Little won one earlier. I think Nick Maimone won one as well. These are all known people, right? Celebrate them. Even when it comes to the Adrian Mateos win the other day, that's one of those online to live hybrid final tables we kind of didn't find out till 24 hours, before. Oh, these guys are at this final table again. Oh, this even happened. Oh, this is gonna, be at the Horseshoe on Saturday. Oh, okay. So yeah, I would like to see a little bit more done there. And yeah, that's all. But shout out to Darren Elias. He finally got one.
He did.
Online, baby.
No asterisks here.
No asterisks here. Negreanu, Hellmuth, Ivey, and Deeb. Now, I put these guys as the biggest names when it comes to the WSOP. You probably have a list of 45 people that deserve to be in this group, but
51 at last count. But yeah,
I know that's how you are. But these are all the biggest guys. Obviously we all know Daniel Negreanu, Phil Hellmuth, Phil Ivey. Yes, Shaun Deeb. He's like Mr. WSOP as far as I'm concerned. Doesn't really. Obviously Phil Hellmuth is yes, but also Shaun Deeb because he doesn't really play much elsewhere. You've tried to bug him many times to come out to our series. You don't see him go to much else other than maybe Turning Stone circuit event.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's not too much. He went down to Texas 2 years ago, but he didn't go this year. He just, outside of the WSOP, Shaun doesn't travel much. He goes to Paradise for WSOP Paradise, yes.
He's very WSOP centric and he's a family man. So
for sure.
It makes sense.
But also along those lines, few people, if any, there might be one person this year who challenges Deeb in the volume aspect. And that person this year would be Texas Mike because he's just trying to, blast everything because he's got all these different bracelet bets or player of the year bets or whatever. But anyway, we've touched on these guys here and there as we've gone on with the 2025 WSOP, but do just want to hit on them right now. we are a little bit past the halfway point, so it feels like a good time to check on these big guns and, see how they're doing overall. So first up, we got good old Dean Eggs. He's got 8 caches so far. Just keep in mind that all the stuff that we mentioned is largely live focused. There is a couple of online things only because basically we saw it on social media. And then also it doesn't include whatever might have happened today, like if these guys bagged or finished in the money or something like that. But 8 caches so far for Daniel Negreanu, just over $1 million in earnings, $1,051,000 in earnings. And one of the things that Daniel does, if you guys don't know and you're living under a rock, he vlogs every single day. A new vlog drops on his YouTube channel. So 1, check that out because it is incredible content. 2, it lets you know at the end of every vlog how his summer is going, plus or minus. As of Monday, June 23rd, Daniel was plus $139,472. So if you're sweating along with Dean Eggs, he's up about $140K. If you're invested in him through his poker stake package, he is up $140K. Tim is pumped, obviously. Some of the highlights from the caches that he's had this summer, he got second in the 10K Omaha high-low. That was his first cache of the summer. He cashed in that one. Second to, who was
Ryan
it?
Hambrick.
Yes. Ryan Bambrick, and Negreanu cashed for $313K, something like that. He got 7th in the 10K NOLA Medusa 7. That's the one Tim and I just referenced that Shulman won when he beat Darren Elias. Negreanu got 7th there. 8th in the 10K Limit Hold'em, and then 9th in the 250K Super High Roller. Now, Daniel also had a deep run, which I think was covered in one of his vlogs in an online event where he fired like 34 bullets or something insane. Something crazy like that, and he finished like, I don't know, 16th or something nuts. If I have that wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure that's the story. But yeah, anyway, check out D-Negs' vlogs if you want more poker content from the WSP.
He vlogs every day.
They drop every
Just
single
like we
morning.
every day.
Exactly. So listen to our podcast first, then go watch the D-Negs vlog, or vice versa. I don't really care.
No,
just consume it all. Let's go. Phil Hellmuth also has 8 caches this summer, but a bit less earnings, $192,248 in earnings for Mr. Hellmuth. A lot of his caches this summer have been on the smaller side. Now, he does have a 3rd place finish in the $2,500 Omaha High-Low / Stud High-Low mixed event, the event that I cannot stand. And talking to a lot of players, no one can stand the event. But everyone's chasing bracelets and money, so they play it anyway. So yeah, he got 3rd in that one for I think 115,000, something around there. But other than that, it's just been small caches, as evidenced by the fact that he's cashed 8 times for 192K, and about 100K of that is made up from that 3rd place finish. Phil Ivey only has 2 caches so far this summer. He's been playing, I think, every single day. He's been in all the big buying stuff for sure.
Stuff, yeah.
Been here a lot. 2 caches, $641,000 in earnings. He had a 6th place finish in the 25K PLO High Roller. He had a 9th place finish in the 100K No Limit Hold'em High Roller. And then Shaun Deeb has 11 caches. Again, this is live. 11 caches live. $660,500 in earnings. He got 2nd in the 1500 Raz. He got 3rd in the 10K PLO High-Low. That 10K PLO High-Low was the one that was won by Phil Sternheimer. And then we do have 2 online results that we saw from Deeb. And if you want to know something funny, he plays as Tim. His name on WSP.com is Tim Duckworth. Troll job by Shaun Deeb. Epic troll job. It's incredible. He had a 2nd place finish in a $600 monster stack for almost $91,000.
We had a 2nd place.
No, you guys are playing together. Great.
It's my
Collusion.
name.
Collusion. T's and C's, baby. Let's go.
It's my name.
And then he played one of the mystery bounty tournaments, and he won a 50K bounty. I don't know how he finished in the event. Yeah, but he won the biggest bounty, 50K. So Deeb has had a pretty good summer overall. But yeah, that's a rundown there of how Negreanu, Hellmuth, Ivey, and Deeb are doing. I have seen in some of the YouTube comments, like, these guys don't ever talk about the big names. Well, here, I just talked about them, right?
We talk about everyone.
I mean, we'll definitely talk about them when they run deep, when they make final tables, as we have,
Yeah.
which we've done here. But then also, like, if they're just going to be min cashing and stuff, I mean, we obviously aren't just
Mr.
going to skip
Hellmuth,
past
what's
that.
going on? We'll pose with you for a picture while we're getting Starbucks, but you need to pull your finger out and get on the board a bit better than some min cashes.
I mean, listen, he had that third place finish in the OE, so maybe it's a sign of things to come.
He did get screwed in that too by Jason Daly.
Yeah, that was. I mean,
3-outer on the river
to get a couple beats
go
there.
from getting 3/4 to getting 3/4. So that was pretty brutal.
Yeah, but that's poker.
That is poker.
What are you going to do? All right, we are down to the final table in the first ever Battle of the Ages. So this tournament had 2 starting flights separated by age. The early flight was 50 and above, so that was a senior's flight. The later flight was for anyone below the age of 50. Of course, you had to be 21. Yes. They are down to the final 8 players. Kelly Slay busted in 9th place to officially end the day. Joseph Rowe looks to be the chip leader. Alan Lee, who's having a very, very good summer, is also at the final table. Let's look up how Mr. Alan Lee is doing. He, of course, won a bracelet already.
He's
won the Raz? Was it the 1500 Raz?
He beat Deeb heads up.
Yes. Yeah. That is right. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He has 10 cashes so far. This is his 10th cash at the WSOP. He has that win in the $1,500 Raz for $126,000. He also has a 13th place finish in the 10K Dealer's Choice. He has a 14th place finish in the 10K Limit Omaha High Low. He has an 18th place finish in the 50K PLO High Roller. So another 20th place finish in the $1,500 Dealer's Choice. So Alan Lee is racking up the cashes, racking up the scores, and this one could be another big one for him. The players are guaranteed $42,400. This was a $1,000 buy-in. The first place prize is $335,000. Jeremy Becker ran pretty deep. 15th place for him, $16,500.
I hear it's my fault that he busted in 15th place, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he tried to blame it on you. I don't think it's your fault.
It's okay.
But I also don't think you need to throw any negative energy his way. We just need to be good, everyone. Just, you know.
I brought him a Baja Blast today. I tried to power him to the bracelet. Did everything I can, you know? Just no luck.
This event was wild down the stretch.
Yeah.
Because the average stack, when there was like 6 or 7 tables left, was like 16 big blinds.
I mean, I actually have the exact average stack at every level.
Outrageous.
Because I was trying to see if my math kind of mathed out. And once we started streaming, we were at 16 big blinds, went down to 14, went down to 12.8 big blind average at one point. Back up to 15, 12, 11, 11. It dropped under 10 for a little bit. Back up to 14. But yeah, it was... The players were playing very snug. You know, the mix of the seniors with the young guns. Very snug poker out there. I think people just trying to ladder up, especially once we got down those final 3 tables. But yeah, we saw some interesting stuff. Just a little side note: 2 players at the final table, part of the seniors group. 6 part of the young guns group. So, you know,
I mean, crazy stuff with just how short they were. It was. I can't recall it being this short in other tournaments. And I know other tournaments get really fast at the end, like, you know, the Colossus, for example. You know, I would have to look deeper. I just can't recall it being this short.
Well,
I mean, this was like outrageous.
This was supposed to, you know, finish in 2 days. It was supposed to be quick.
True.
We kind of we had planned to add a day anyway. It did need one because it's, you know, 2:50 a.m. and they literally just bagged up. So even without our interception, they would have needed a 3rd day. But yeah, just a little bit of a faster structure than normal, a lower starting stack, combined with some snug play once we're in the money today.
And that's why I thought Jeremy Becker was going to win it. Because they got down to like 3 tables. I was like, you know, this is just like one of those win dailies.
This is jam.
This is what you get. You know, you're just nursing like 6 to 8 big blinds, like trying to find spots, somehow trying to play pots. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. What is the average stack right now? Do you know? I mean, the big blinds 500K, I believe.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
the
bagged
chip, the
it's
chip
back
leader.
up to 15 now. We just lost those two guys, 10th and 9th. As you mentioned, Kelly Slay and Gary. So
I mean,
yeah,
there's two people with
15
5
bigs.
big blinds.
Yeah.
There's somebody else with 7.
Then Joseph and the other guy's got.
I mean, Joseph
has got all the chips.
Joseph has 35 big blinds as the chip leader.
Massive.
I mean, that's yeah, shout out massive. I mean, that's not super deep or anything crazy. So the plan is to stream this one on PokerGo on Tuesday, June 24th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. So check that out if you want to. Again, they are guaranteed $42,000 with $335K up top. I'm guessing, as you often see when the stacks are shallow like this, the chips are going to be freaking flying. Okay, so do not miss the start time. Tune in right away. It should be action-packed right from the jump. We got the $1,500 Millionaire Maker playing down some more. Again, there was 11,996 entries in the field for this one. They are down to 44. They are guaranteed $40,580. The plan for Tuesday's play is to go from 44 down to the final 7. Those 7 will then come back on Wednesday for the live-streamed final table. It is currently James Carroll leading. That's not right.
Did it got changed?
It got changed.
Okay.
There you go. Good thing I pulled that up. I got Kaifan Wang as the
Good
chip
on you,
leader.
Kai-fan.
James Carroll is down in 5th. Kaifan Wang has 21.9 million. Jacques Ortega, 2nd. Alejandro Ganavet, 3rd. Ignacio Moron, 4th. James Carroll, 5th. Who else do we have in this thing? We got Josh Reichert.
Yep.
Doing well there.
Jesse Yaganuma. Leo
Jesse
Marquez,
Yaganuma.
bracelet winner. Jonas Clark, I think he's a bracelet winner.
Yes, he is.
Richard Alate, he is kind of known for that Bellagio prop bet. And Brianna Zudima rounding out the chip counts down there.
Okay. I mean, good field. This is obviously a super fun tournament. And we talked about the payouts and the field size on the last episode. It's $1.255 million up top for the winner. It's $1,012,000 for second place. Third place is $702. Fourth place, $534. Fifth place, $409. Jeff Platt had a deep run.
He did.
Busted today? Was
Correct.
that today? Busted today in like 278th or something like that. Something around there. 217th. Jeff's middle name is Mo. I mean, it says Jeffrey Mo Platt is what is listed here. In
all right, I'm going to have to be calling that.
217th place. We had a shot. We had 3 guys.
Yeah.
Jeremy Osmus, Uri Reichenstein, and Steven Song from our 25K fantasy team all made it today, all busted within like the first hour of play. Just boom, boom, boom. And actually, Uri and Song in the right next to each other in the payouts. I got a message from ODB with a screenshot that says, "Bad minute for you guys." Yes, it was a bad minute.
Thanks,
for us,
ODB.
okay, very bad minute. Again, Tuesday they're going to go from 44 down to 7. They're going to come back on Wednesday for the live stream final table. So that is the WSOP Millionaire Maker. Let's take a quick break right now, and we'll be right back in about 30 seconds or so.
At the World Series of Poker, it's not just a game, it's war. Gear up at the PokerGO shop. Look sharp, play sharper. On site at the WSOP and online at shop.pokergo.com.
The $500 Freezeout that Tim listed as massive.
Yeah.
And that is because last year, well, why do you have WSB kickoff?
Because
I mean,
on the structure sheets, it says previous champion, right?
Oh,
Because I was trying to look for it. They regard this event as last year's kickoff, WSOP kickoff, because that was a $500
so they listed
buy-in for us.
sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's the same event, but they don't list it for whatever reason. Like the previous
this
thing.
is regarded as the
Okay.
repeat of the WSOP kickoff that had 3,485 entrants last year to kick off the WSOP. This year, it's 60.
Was that the one? Was last year when D-Negs went really deep?
No, that was a different event. That was, I want to say that was Colossus.
No, kickoff for sure.
Kickoff was like day 2 of the World Series.
Yeah, I realize this.
All right, check it. Stat check me.
I'm going to check it.
But yeah, so like I said, 3,485 in the kickoff.
Yes, I remember this.
2024.
We had him on our fantasy team. I remember this. Yes, he lost with 10s to Ace King.
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah, I
right
remember
there,
it was there.
right there.
I just didn't think it was the kickoff. 3,485 entrants last year. This year, 5,082. So, nearly 1,600 more players this year. And that today, we had a couple of friends playing. They basically made an announcement that we're opening 50 more tables in the Providence room. We're opening 50 more tables here. It was basically WSOP did not plan for such a big event and had a kind of a lack of dealers, but quickly got it all sorted. There was, some pretty big alternate lines to start the day, but they were quickly erased and people got in. No kind of issues. But yeah, we're finishing the day with 211. We lost, 4,800 players today, get down to 211.
Madness.
Madness in this massive field. Let's see who's survived.
Juan Lucina.
Oh yeah,
is the chip leader right now. I'm just quickly ripping through these. Arthur Morris, 26th in chips.
Okay.
Good old Arthur Morris. I just kind of scan through and try and see those 25K badges. That's what I'm most interested in.
That's actually a good way to do it. I look at the pictures. If someone has a picture, I kind of stop and pause.
I just look at the badges. Francis Anderson.
Yeah, Francis Anderson. Terrence Reed, PokerGO. He's bagged a chip. We've been watching some of his vlogs.
That's all I got.
Well, now I got to click the page 2. Something we don't like. Oh, here's an interesting name. Man Wins Lady Satellite has also bagged his chips.
Wow.
Wow.
He's just
I'm not going to really mention his name, but it looks like, Francis Anderson down there, 300K. Julia Cornelius is in there. I know Johnny Vibes had a bit of a stack at one point, but that's going to play out to a winner tomorrow. So the 2-day event.
2-day
right?
event. Pretty quick structured, but I'm a fan of these quick structures. I like them.
Yeah.
Just haven't been able to play any this year, unfortunately. First place in this one, 230,000 for all intents and purposes there. 764 did cash, but they are down quite a bit from there. So they'll be back on Tuesday. They'll grind down to a winner, and we'll see if we actually get a winner on Tuesday. If not, it'll kick forward to Wednesday. But either way, stay tuned for more updates from the $500 Freezeout. The 5K No Limit Hold'em 6-Max absolutely smashed through last year's number of entries. So last year, 818 entries. Your boy won it.
Kangaroo.
Say his name? I can't say his name.
Mustafa Haderi?
There you
Come
go.
on.
Mustafa Haderi.
It's such an Australian name.
Was he the one smoking a cigarette and stuff?
No, that was
okay.
Kamal, I think he's the guy. He won the 10K PLO8 or something.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, your boy Kangaroo Crew last year won 656,000. This year, we mentioned 818 last year. This year, 995 already. They still have registration open through the first level and the break on day 2, which is today on Tuesday. There is also one reentry allowed. So maybe some people got through on a bullet. They bust early on, they get back in. Or maybe people come in late, they happen to bust, they get back in. So this number of entries is going to skyrocket higher.
Yeah.
What is it, 1,200? Is that the number? This is a huge jump from last year already.
I feel like you do get the one re-entry, right? So how many have already exhausted that? But 1,200 wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That's just so big.
I mean, this tournament's enormous. And this one, unlike some of the other events that we've been talking about, the 1K Battle of the Ages, the $500 Freezeout, this one is a very player-friendly structure, 4-day event. At least it's scheduled for 4 days. The way that these numbers have shaken out, maybe it goes 5. Of course, we'll see when that comes. But this event is ridiculously big. And with the number of entries, the boost that it got, first place is probably going to be 800 to 850.
Yeah.
I would say minimum there, which is really, really good. Really, really cool there. So massive turnout. Shout out massive. Sebastian Toro Hinao leads the way after day one. He bagged up 695,000. Some of the other notables that I pulled from the chip counts, you got Jake Schwartz in 9th. You got Ryan Lang in 15th. Michael Jozoff, 16th. Taylor Parr, 17th. Adrian Mateos, who just won another gold bracelet, his 5th in the online to live hybrid event. He's in 19th. Patrick Leonard, a.k.a. Pads, 38th. Landon Tice, 41st. Lou Garza, 47th. And then we got 3 guys from our fantasy team who bagged chips. Uri Reichenstein did pretty well, 190K in the bag for him. Steven Song, our big field Nolan Holm specialist, Steven Song, 144K there. I think he got second in this event before to the French guy. Don't remember the French guy's name, but the French guy. Look that up.
Doing it.
And then John Shorman, Johnny Shorman. Hey, John Shorman bagged 125,000 as well.
How about the big dogs?
Who?
The big dogs of the team.
Well, Seth said he was only going to play the bigger stuff from here on out, so he's not playing this one. Jeremy, I'm assuming, is not playing this one because he wants to play 50K PPC.
Okay,
right?
That's fair.
That makes sense. You don't want to get sucked into this. Like I saw David Baker, ODB, tweet out that because he's got action for the 50K PPC listed on PokerStake, and I think he still has some action left. But he did say in his tweet that he bagged that $3,500 event at the win.
Okay.
So if he plays the 50K PPC, he's going to late reg on day 2.
Oh, okay.
So like there's kind of conflicts all over town right now. Is what I'm getting at.
Jonathan Pastore was the guy who finished.
But did he finish second?
Yeah.
There you go. Boom. Steven Song. Let's go. Another second place finish would be perfect, sir. Again, this is a 4-day event, so expect plenty of coverage as we go in this one. Massive shout out, massive turnout there.
We definitely need a t-shirt next year that says
massive.
We need one that says Kangaroo Crew. We need one that says massive. We need the Martin Cabral shirt with all his catchphrases on it.
We should just do one of those word collages with all the different sayings.
You remember that t-shirt you made that had the Vegas with all the stuff in it?
Exactly.
Something like that. Exactly. It just says Martin Cabral.
I'm in.
Yep. Okay.
The deuce to 7 triple draw. What's this? $1,500 buy-in?
Yep.
$1,500 buy-in. 635 entries. Ponied up that $1,500. First place, $157,000. Another event that is up quite nicely from the prior year. Last year, $574. And last year was Aaron Cummings who won it for $146.5. So this year, more entries, bigger first place prize. 96 players in the money. Who we got? Anyone cool?
Yuki Zoo's the chip leader.
Yuki
so that's
Zoo,
kind of
Rich Zoo.
That's kind of
okay. Brandon Shack Harris sitting third. Ray Henson sitting
friend of the
fourth.
pod, Ray Henson.
That's right. He's got the hat. John Turner 10th. Got Robert Mizraki. Adam Friedman. Oh, look at number 18.
Nice
look at this guy. Nico Milgram. Hey, I love Nico. He's just the best.
Oh, look at 31. Oh, look at 31.
Tommy Coral. Let's go. Come on, Tommy. Come on. How many are left? Are they close to the money?
Yeah, kind of on the bubble.
Come on. I still think these things should get to the money on day one. I really do. Like I think almost every tournament should get to. Here's what I'll say. Every 3-day tournament should be in the money on day one. That's my take. Every 3-day tournament should be in the money on day one. Now, if you want it to extend, like the 5K that we just talked about, for example, okay, then it's a 4-day tournament. Has the reg through. And then every 4-day tournament should have the reg through.
Got it.
Now, the only ones that I would say are the exceptions to that rule would be the 25K and higher high rollers, because those are 3-day events, but they also have the registration that carries through. But you have smaller fields comparably to things like, 5K no limit hold'em or this 1,500 juice to 7 with 635 players. So that's my thought there. So this was day 1 of 3. Still plenty of time to go in this one. Let's go, Nico. Let's go, Tommy Coral. But stay tuned for more updates there. Now, let's get into the 50K PPC. It begins today. It is a 5-day freaking monster. I mean, listen, let's just take the WSOP main event out of it for right now, right? We know that's the Super Bowl, that's the headliner, that's the whole thing, right? But the 50K PPC, it really is the crown jewel in a lot of ways. Now, I know the real crown jewel is the WSOP main event. Yes, I get that. But again, we're removing that from the conversation for right now, and we're thinking of everything else. It's basically there's the WSOP main event, and then there's all these prelim events. And among those prelims, the 50K PPC is the best. Again, it is the crown jewel. It crowns the game's best all-around player every single year. It's freaking grueling. The thing is, it's the best rendition of a cash game in a tournament form that there is. Again, other than the WSOP main event, yes. But when it comes to mixed games, like there's just absolutely nothing better. You got to be able to play all the different games. You have to be able to play them well. They play, it's 7-handed or 6-handed? 7. So, I mean, but you're not always 7-handed. But what I'm getting at is like you have to kind of be able to play short-handed, which means you have to be able to get a little bit more active, stay involved, get aggressive, all that sort of stuff. For this one, you always get players that like don't often play a lot of other events, but they will come out and play this one again because it's the closest thing to a cash game, a high-stakes cash game format. So really, really, really cool stuff. That kicks off today. Long registration window. We are planning on PokerGo to stream the final 3 days of this tournament. So all you people out there who have yelling and screaming for mixed game coverage, listen, first of all, Tim and I hear you. And when you complain to us, you're complaining to the wrong people. Okay, don't complain to us because we can't do anything about it. Second, we're going to be streaming 3 days of this, and it's going to be great. I believe for 2 of the days, it's going to be Ali Najad and Jared Blesnick on the call. And then the other day, it's going to be Alex Livingston and Chris Vitch on the call. So if I have that not exactly perfect, or maybe it switches around, you're going to get elite commentary in addition to the coverage of this on PokerGo.com. So be sure to tune in for that. And I figure, because this event is so cool, why don't we do a little bit of an extended preview on it? How about that?
All right, you're in charge.
That's right. I am in charge, baby. Most money won. Michael Mizrachi, Brian Rast, John Hennigan, Matthew Ashton, and Daniel Cates. That's the 1 through 5 for the most money won. Michael Mizrachi and Brian Rast, they both have 3 titles in this tournament. Mizrachi won it in 2010, 2012, and 2018. Rast won it in 2011, 2016, and 2023. Mizrachi's cashed in this tournament only for $4.732 million. Rast is cashed. Tim's shaking his head over there in astonishment. Rast is cashed for $4,485,000. Hennigan's cashed for almost $3.1 million. Matthew Ashton is cashed for $2.75 million. And Dan Cates is cashed for $2.57 million. The most cashes in the 50K PPC belong to Philip Ivey. 6 cashes for Mr. Ivey.
A lot.
That is a lot, yes. Let me look at my stat stock here to see who else is cashed a lot in this one. So Phil Ivey leads the way with 6, sorry. And then you have 3 people with 5. Michael Mizrachi, Matthew Ashton, and can you name the third?
Give me a hint.
Yeah, he's won the event, and he's a very, very big name in poker.
John Hennigan?
Daniel Negreanu.
Oh, yeah, okay.
There are a bunch of people with 4, and then I won't go any further than that because there's just too many. But Brian Rast, John Hennigan, Andy Block, Johannes Becker, Matt Glantz, Josh Aryeh, Barry Greenstein, James Obst, your boy, Daniel Elahi, and Mike Wattell have all cashed 4 times in the 50 in the 50K PPC. Yeah, there you go. This event has gone through kind of a few different variations of it. Remember, it started as the 50K horse.
Yeah.
Which the final table was played at No Limit Hold'em.
Yes,
that was the year that David Chip Reese won it, and the trophy was later named after him, which I heard they were bringing back.
Yeah, I saw it today.
You did?
Yep.
Does it look good?
Yeah.
Is it the same, just brand new?
It's not exactly the same. It's a different company. It looks... I like the old one, but you could say that it looks better.
I will say that at first I hated the old one. I was like, this looks dumb.
Yeah.
And then it quickly grew on me.
I love it. Yeah.
I know what you mean. And I fell in love with it, for sure. It definitely needed to be fixed. Mm-hmm. It was a little bit broken, but very cool. So I'm happy that that's back.
Yeah, new trophy. Poker News and we and some other outlets took some photos today. I don't think they're getting published really until probably the 50K is in full swing. But it's good that they, fixed the art wall, decided to, hey, let's bring back some prestige to this event with the David Chip Reese trophy. So we'll see the new version in a couple of days, hopefully.
Are ours
You will
online?
not see them because I told
I can't even look at them?
I told him not to
What
upload.
the hell
Couldn't
is
trust
this
you.
nonsense?
You
Trust me. What the
You're
hell am I
spending
gonna...
all day at the Venetian. You're taking naps for 3 hours. I can't trust you. You're going to leak them out. Get us in trouble.
I would 1000% never leak them.
I don't know.
If anyone leaks anything between the two of us, it is you for sure.
100%. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, how are you going to gatekeep these things? Michael Mizrachi and Brian Rast, they are the kings of the 50K PPC. They have 3 titles each, but it is Michael Mizrachi who, as I outlined in the most money won from this tournament, he does edge out Brian Rast in that category by about $250,000. He also has one more cash. Mizrachi has 5 cashes in the event to Rast's 4. Most money won in the event without winning it belongs to Andy Block. He has 4 cashes for $1,813,000, and I think he did really well out of the chute.
Second, I think he was second to Chip Reese in the very first one. Right?
Yeah, second to Chip Reese. Then he cashed in 2008. So this started. The event began, by the way, in 2006. So he took second there, which I believe wasn't that like an epically long heads up match.
It was a really long one. Yeah, Chip's first bracelet.
So he basically went every other year. 2006 cash, 2008 cash, 2010 cash, 2012. He had a pretty big cash there, so he obviously made the final table, 561K. Looks like he might have finished third, fourth, something like that. Third or fourth. That's Andy Block. We got what else? I mentioned it began in 2006. Had a few changes over the years. So yeah, like I
want
said,
to talk about the changes real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, because you would know this better than I would.
First 4 years it was the horse championship. We played obviously horse. 2010 we went to 8 games
with a no limit hold'em final table, mind you. Everyone out there, like if you can go onto PokerGo.com, you can go into the archives and you can find this event. But you're gonna watch the final table and you're gonna be like, what the heck's going on? They're playing no limit hold'em. The idea was that for TV purposes, when they launched this event, no one would know what the heck all these games were. Maybe there was some issue back then with like filming 5 different games, for an edited episode, like all that sort of stuff. I think
Maury said something that, they basically, for it to be on TV to get the promotion, the TV wanted no limit hold'em. But 2010 was when. Could
you imagine if you tried to do that today? I mean, you're the guy. Like you deal with these players. Imagine if you're like, hey guys, by the way, next PGT, next super high roller roll mixed games, the final table is going to be no limit. 6 people would show up.
It'd never fly. First 2 years of 8 game was still no limit. Then 2012 it went to normal 8 game. The 2012 to 2014 8 game. Then they were like, you know what? 8 games, not enough. Let's bump it up. We're going to go to 10. It went from basically, in those 116, 120, 130 kind of player fields, 2014, 102. They went to 10 game in 2015, dropped to 84. Only lasted 1 year. They went back to 8 game for 4 more years where the numbers were kind of flat. Then in 2021, first year here at the Horseshoe, evolved to 9 game, and it's been 9 game ever since, and I don't see it changing for quite a while. But yeah, a couple different variations of the...
I thought 2022 was the first year here.
2021 was 9 game.
No, but first year here. You said first year
here. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, 2022 was first year here. 2021 was first year of 9 game. That's right. Yeah. So
they've averaged 106.6 entries in this event since it started. Now they are on a decline for the past couple of years. In 2022, the first year here at the Horseshoe in Paris, 112 entries that first year. Then it had 99. Then last year it had 89. So bit of a decline each year. Daniel Negreanu won it last year, his 7th gold bracelet. He is the reigning champion. What do you have for a prediction on the field size?
Over 89. Or do we want me to give you a number?
Yeah, let's
maybe
go.
92. I like 92.
Right, I'm going to say 96.
You're very optimistic this World Series. I do like that, but
I mean, I feel like a lot of this stuff is up. Listen, I don't know.
I'll tell you 2 names that are going to be in the field. I'm going to tell you 3, 4, 5 names that are going to be in the field that aren't normally. Firstly, let's start with Robert Wells.
I was going to say
Okay?
Robert Wells will
We're
be
going
in
to
there.
second that with Thomas Taylor.
Okay.
Okay. We saw Kevin Gerhardt listing action. He's going to take a shot. We saw Brad Owen selling at mark down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay.
I mean, good for Brad giving
There's
people a
4
chance.
names that I'm pretty confidently have not played. Thomas Taylor, I'm not so sure.
Has like a David Funkhauser played before? I feel like he
I don't
would
think
get
so,
in
but
this
I'm trying
year.
to think of like who's running hot in these mixed games that are going to be in. You know, you do
Scott
have
Bowman.
Do you have
I think
Scott
he's
Ball,
played
but
it before.
Might still be in the limit hold'em.
Okay, but he can always late reg.
Oh, no, he can always.
He's had an incredible year. He's first or second on POI. Like, you know, so
Depending how the no limit hold'em goes for Alan Lee tomorrow, there's another one you can kind of maybe flirt with the jumping in the 50K
I mean,
too.
I think he plays for sure.
Well, like if it was PLO, yes, but like the mixes, I think he may have told me this. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alan, but not as strong. So like he doesn't often play our 25K championship. I know that's very different structure of a tournament. It's a quick one. But he's having a good summer, right? He's got his bracelet. He's at a final table right now, guaranteed basically the 50K buy-in, a little bit under. So if he ladders up a bit, he may feel, you know what? I binked a pretty good score in a no limit hold'em event that I wasn't expecting. I might just take this shot in the 50K. So just on those kind of 5 names we've kind of touched on, I feel like I'm a bit more bullish on that trend of going down to now spike back up. Just depends how much it goes up.
I'm curious if you see someone like, well, I'm just looking at the money list for the 2025 WSOP, right? So people that have, you know, are obviously likely up money that maybe they decide to take a shot in this tournament. Alex Foxon. I mean, I feel like he's kind of always talked about wanting to play more mixed games, and he's cashed for 3.27 million already at this WSOP. So is he someone who possibly takes a shot in this? I don't know. I mean, I don't know where I would probably put it at 20%, but
yeah,
that's still 20% that it could happen, right?
Sure.
What about a Blaž Žeriov? Because he's been playing some of the mixed stuff. So I have no idea if this guy's like actually a mixed game crusher, like online from Europe, and now he's like, okay, I won that big PLO, so let's just go.
Here's a question: can I look at satellites in the app? Because there's a big landmark satellite, and if that breaks the right way, that has a big implication on
Mickey Dueck.
No,
didn't he play ours? Did he not play ours?
He might have been bored.
He might have been bored. I mean, maybe he's bored right now. He's also bored right now, and he's cashed for 1.6 million this summer. You know, he's another one.
Why won't it show me?
I mean, do you get someone like Bao Ding? Does he play? Does he play these mixed games?
Yeah.
Lou Garza?
No.
Do you know Lou Garza has cashed in the 50K PPC before?
Give it. Come on.
Well, Lou Garza has a big cash this summer already, right? He won a bracelet. I mean, does he get in there? Chris Brewer? I mean, I know he's played before, obviously, and had a lot of success, but is he going to get in there?
You know, we mentioned a name the other day we haven't seen him, like a Keith Lear. You know, Christopher Tong, he played, I think, 2 years ago, he cashed in it. You know, is he like, he's going to roll in that tournament success? You know, we obviously always expect Opie, Lyle Berman, Mikel Thuretz, all these guys that are just sitting over there in
Matthew Ashton.
They're either at table 1 or they're, you know, in the Legends room over at Bellagio. Or
no, they're in a different room. Have you seen the things? They're in like a special like salon.
No, that's
suite
a Bellagio.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. You know, we're gonna obviously Patrick Antonius is another name. You know, is Jen Harmon going to play? Huck Seed's back. Is he going to be in there? So, you know, we could probably give you 200 possible names. It's really a question of how many of those get in, right? Because I think we have, what do we have here?
Did you look up the satellite?
It's not in there. It only shows the no limit hold'em satellites, which is a little kind of weird to me. But can I read off you some names that have played it? Because I don't know if we have the same PPC doc. I got names.
No, I had a different.
Because I was trying to build like a kind of an ROI of PPC doc,
Okay.
but it was kind of hard in some of those mid 2000 years to get the full playlist. But I'm gonna throw you some names that have played this before.
You just got to go to Poker News.
No, I did, and there was some indiscrepancies. Saya Ono, Matt Vengren, Jesse Klein, Taman Nakamura.
Matt Vangren, I think, plays for sure.
Michael Rodriguez.
Questionable. I don't think he's
J.
been
David
winning this
Rogers
summer.
played our events recently. Justin Liberto, Chris Kruk. Jerry Wong's played it before. Keith Lee, Chris Moneymaker played it last year, right? Let me look. Mahid, no, he won't play. Phil Galfond. Is he something like that might come out for this thing? He's got a big enough edge in the PLO. Robert Campbell's not here. Craig Chate's played it before. Hasn't really done much this series. Dustin Dirksen, someone we haven't seen in this World Series, but does he come out for that? Obviously, Kerry Klatz has. You would probably want to.
Kerry who?
Kerry Katz.
You said Klatz.
Yeah, I had a mistype because I was reading a different name. Albert Dahir, another kind of.
I feel like
guy.
Yeah,
John
he's in that
Balland.
group. It's Albert Dahir. It's David Oppenheim. It's Aaron Katz. Like you won't see them until this event, and then you'll see them.
Yeah. So there's a lot of these names that kind of looking at this. Scott Bowman has one cash in the PPC. Chris Resluck has a cash in the PPC.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, but like there's these names. John Racer won the Super Turbo. You expect to see him in there, no problems. MJ Gonzalez has played before. How's the cash games going? That kind of thing. Victor Blum, obviously, we probably expect to see in there, but yeah. Who knows? I think we'll walk that field on Tuesday and even Wednesday and see some nope, did not expect him, or where's that guy being kind of, discussions, conversations.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm pretty bullish on the field size in terms of bucking the trend of the decline for the past couple of years and getting this thing sliding back in the right direction. So I'm going to go with 96 entries. You said 92. Either way, we both think it's going to be up over the prior year. I would not be surprised if it broke 100. Just hearing you run through some of those names there, I could certainly see a lot of them hopping in. I always want to see Patrick Antonius play more WSOP events, so maybe we'll get him in the field for this one. So yeah, that's the 50K PPC. Starts today, 5 days straight. We will be live streaming coverage from the last 3 days of it, so stay tuned to PokerGo.com for more on this event. Community cards, sir. This is your segment.
You want to touch on what's coming up today?
Yes.
Let's do that real quick.
What do we got?
1K Super
We got
Seniors.
the 50K PPC.
Yeah, we don't need to touch that one. 1K Super Seniors.
Yep.
Packed house here. I think we need to have a discussion about the 1K tag team.
Okay.
Are we playing it? Because we always were going to.
I mean, I kind of feel like shit the past couple days, and it's now 3:24 in the morning. So
seems like and plus you have the biggest thing here is you have commentary at 12, which throws the big ring.
Yeah, but can we late register?
Do we want to really late register?
Who gives a shit? Why not?
Okay.
Late register says the guy who's going to buy in day 2 of the main event.
With 60 big blinds.
Yeah, so who cares? At least this one, it's not a lot of money. We can get in. We can try and spin it up.
Hope commentary goes quick. Okay, let's go to community cards really quick.
Commentary will be done for me tomorrow around 4 to 5. Registration in that thing is open till what time?
8, I think.
Yeah. So it depends how I feel. If I feel like I need to go home and take a nap tomorrow afterwards, then no, we're not playing.
We should probably just come register anyway and then go home and take a nap. Take a nap in the room upstairs.
God, that is true. I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Community cards. Only 8 hats left. I just want to lead with that. I'm going to lead with the bad news. 8 hats, guys.
I mean, it's absolutely wild that there's only.
Actually, you know what? 9 hats, because this hat here is technically.
I can't believe you're just not going to order more hats.
9 hats. 9 hats. But yeah, quick some shout outs. Henry from North England stopped by. He was waiting for me to get off some calls. He said hello. We had a little chat about things. Andy Gold, who follows me on Instagram, sent me a DM while I was walking the Millionaire Maker Freezeout. He says, I need a hat. Here's the code word. I said, I got you. he then could like tripled up. After I got you, I brought him a hat, so that was already brought him some good luck. He was playing the 500 Freezeout. I met Greg from California. I met Al from Arizona. And then 2 PokerGO podcast fans, listeners, subscribers out there were in the Battle of Ages. David Ivers finished 64th. Little picture of him right about here playing the Battle of Ages. Jeffrey Kimber, slightly better, 42nd place. Going to put a picture of him about here. And then finally, we couldn't have community cards without talking about our girl Cheryl, who you've met now.
Legend. Absolutely.
She's becoming
ball of freaking fire, Cheryl. Let's go.
She's been.
Hope she wins $1 bazillion this summer.
Yeah, she's having an excellent time. I saw a tweet out there shared by Joey Ingram from Mike Hunsucker that said Cheryl in seed 8 crushing an IPA at noon on a Monday. Not all heroes wear capes. Rich put the tweet about here, or at least the picture right here. Cheryl's, I guess, in the $500 Freezeout. She's got that IPA by her chipset. But she's becoming the story of the last few days here on the PokerGO podcast. But
she's incredible.
She's incredible. But yeah, a few shout outs. I want to mention 8 hats, guys. Come get them. They're going to run out soon. Then we're going to have to work on next year's stuff. Only 100. I know you don't like it, but foot is down. Foot is down on this.
Yeah, it's brutal. Only shout out I have is that I just got a text about 20 minutes ago from Kevin Gerhardt saying, looks like I'll be in the 50K today.
There he is. See? Got him.
He's in there. There we go. All right. That's all we got for you guys. Pretty jam-packed episode there. Remember, if you would be so kind, please like, review, share, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Doesn't matter if you're listening on audio. Doesn't matter if you're watching on YouTube. All the engagement stuff, it helps us grow.
3:28 a.m. We're here bringing it to you at 3:28
a.m. We deserve at least a freaking like for that. I mean, come on. Let's go.
Yeah.
He's Tim Duckworth. I'm Donnie Peters. The vacuums are going, which means we got to get out of here. Talk to you guys soon.
See ya.